Emergency alert.
You are watching what flashed across some television screens in Southern California just after 11 o'clock this morning. Some heard what started as an emergency alert and turned into a warning of the end of the world.
Is that something that TV stations have contingency plans for? Do they have these pre-recorded messages in case the end of the world happens, like for different reasons? Like, you know, they've got one for like a nuclear apocalypse, they've got another one for a religious apocalypse, a rapture, if you would. Another one in case like the SCP Foundation is revealed to be real. I don't know. Is that something they've prepared for? Or do they have one that's just kind of a blanket? This one could be it, or maybe. Just maybe, and I think this might be the case here, is somebody has hacked into the frequency there and is now using it as their own personal soapbox for their perceived end of the world.
For the most part, the Chinese government keeps a white-knuckle grip on the reins of the media. But during Friday prime time on August 1st, 2014, hackers temporarily wrested away control, hijacking local cable in the city of Wenzhou. Viewers were taken aback to see anti-government, pro-democracy messages overlaying programs on each of the channels for a period of roughly 10 minutes. The pirate content included references to the persecuted spiritual movement Falun Gong and the iconic image of Tankman, the lone protester who faced down tanks in Tiananmen Square.
Again, let's go. Come on. Any sort of regime stops the free speech of people, censors things, hides information, promotes a message that may or may not be truthful or in line with reality. If people are gonna stand up against that, more power to them. Come on. Hello everybody and welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your host Keegan Hughes, and today we're taking a look at the scariest things caught on live TV, part 3. Let's get it.
As the planet passes into the new age of Aquarius.
The engineers tried to get back control of the station. You can see this battle on the screen. Behind Villon's message, the visuals on the TV continued as normal. Finally, the network regained control, and the voice was gone.
Classic. So this might be a similar example to what I was talking about before, but yeah, people getting on air and, staging their manifestos, making sure everyone listens for whatever amount of time they can make them listen for. That's gotta be weird, like especially considering the time period in which it happened, right? Where this kind of thing wasn't necessarily expected or even really known about. Like you're just watching TV, maybe not even paying attention very much, and then like, boom, snap back to reality because some weirdo is telling you about like the impending apocalypse or new age of Aquarius, and like, you don't know if this is like an all-powerful message from beyond or if it's just some guy hacking in. Hacking in wasn't necessarily like a widely known practice back then. So you just gotta put yourself in the shoes of like, I think this would be something like that I would talk about for ages. Like if I was a kid and that happened on my TV, like pre-internet era, I would never shut up about it. That would like be the defining moment of my childhood right there. Boom.
We're gonna have a great time together.
It may be the creepiest episode ever on The Dating Game, because this bachelor looking for love back in 1978 is actually a serial killer.
I'm called the Banana, and I look really good.
No one had any idea that Rodney Alcala had already launched his killing spree when he appeared on the popular dating show.
That's something you look back on and wonder about. I guess there's no way to screen that if somebody hasn't, got a criminal record yet, right? Like if they're still doing it in the background. You gotta wonder what's going through his head when he's on there, right? Like what he's thinking about. Like is he getting like a gigantic thrill from knowing that he has killed somebody and is on television trying to date someone, just being a charming regular Joe type guy? That's worth a deeper investigation. You got to wonder like how he got on the show, like what inspired him to do so, like what the people on the show thought of him. You got to wonder what the contestant that had to choose between him and two other guys thought when she found out that was the case.
Because, one of the nicest things about shopping by mail order
Oh no, this one.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right. All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
David, very cool there. At that point, news producer Nancy Valenta ordered us off the air, but we all pretended that we were still broadcasting for the...
Wow. Yeah, very cool indeed. Like, cool as ice, man. This guy's got a gun on him, and he's just like, yeah, so what's your name? Where are you from? Would you like me to read this? Okay, I'll do that for you. Wow. That is a high-pressure scenario right there. Good for him. Good for the broadcaster. Not so good for the guy who broke into this television station with a gun and forced him to read, I guess, a manifesto, whatever it was on the paper.
Pretty much all these reported encounters with spirits are Victorian or thereabouts. Gaynor Green says, my nana has a collection of dolls in her dining room. They're so creepy. They look as if they're just waiting to pounce. Now, you put this up for sale, right? And you put it on the web, right? And you were quite upfront because you didn't want anybody buying this unless they knew this was possessed, as you believe possessed.
I didn't list it as a haunted doll. I listed it as a creepy doll.
Did they not notice that the doll was rocking its chair all on its own? They had the cameraman was zoomed right in on it. I'm 100% sure they had cameras rigged for the 2 interviews, the wide, and then one for just the doll. And that camera operator was like he can't say anything, but he's like screaming internally at his producer, like, get this, get this, get this. And the producer was like, boom, switch to camera, doll, go. But nobody seems to notice. Why would she list it as just a creepy doll, though, and not a haunted doll? I feel like it's like that's irresponsible not to let somebody know.
The communist regime in Poland was holding on by its fingertips. Economic crisis was inspiring dissent, inflamed by the underground trade union Solidarność, Polish for solidarity. During the 1985 parliamentary elections, the regime banned opposition candidates from running, prompting calls for a boycott. To get the message out, 4 astronomers at the University of Torun superimposed text supporting solidarity and the proposed boycott. They were caught, but received a light slap on the wrist in the form of probation and a small fine.
No, solidarity. Let's go, unions. Let's go. Come on. If you're doing that behind the scenes to promote that kind of message, by all means. Especially if you're being, censored and pushed out by other people. If people are being banned from running or promoting certain messages, what is that?
Send this jinn to block you to speak or to go to court.
So are they exercising a djinn live on TV, and the djinn is laughing at that attempt? Because if so, that is freaky. The guy that was speaking seems to kind of have a handle on what's going on, but his co-host here seems absolutely flabbergasted, like totally freaked out by what's going on. I think I might be too. That's happening on live television. Whoever's on the other end of the phone is just losing their mind because the djinn that has possessed them, or the djinn that's in their house, or wherever this spirit may be, is just going bonkers, going loony.
There's really no way I can prove it without revealing my identity and getting myself into more trouble than I have already.
Exactly what's going on up there?
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs, that are out there of extraterrestrial origin, and they're basically being dismantled. Some are, well, in various stages of completion, built from other parts, and they're being test flown and basically just analyzed.
Are they at Area 51? Are we at an airfield somewhere? Why are we seeing flying saucers? Why are they being test driven? Have we not heard anything more about this ever since? Dennis, tell me more. They don't even have his voice modulated like they have him in Darkness, which, granted, is useful for hiding his identity, but I think a lot of it is definitely trackable, traceable, perceivable. And that is all the time we have for today, folks. Hopefully some of these TV moments, these live broadcasts, got under your skin. Hopefully they didn't actually. You know, maybe it's best if we can all sleep tonight without worrying about insane stuff. Thanks for watching. Make sure you stick around for some bloopers. Say some weird stuff every time. And we'll see you next time. Alrighty. Scariest things caught on live TV, part 3. Wow. Alrighty. Alrighty. Who was interviewing him? Again, I want to know more.